Hi everyone, my name is Kinga and welcome to my YouTube channel. I started making YouTube videos right after my divorce to document for myself and my closest friends how I am reinventing myself. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please do it now, or just like and share this video or comment, whatever you want to do. I threw myself into the dating pool almost right after my divorce. First just out of curiosity, then boredom, then to have fun, then to make new friends, or sometimes a combination of all the above. And about a year later, for real dating purposes, or relationship purposes. But what are those? In this video, I want to tell you how my understanding of what the purpose of a relationship should be has evolved, what I think the right reason is or should be to enter into one, and when do you know that you are ready for a relationship. I think most of us use online dating to meet new people, like potential dating or even marriage materials, to give the universe the chance to bring us people that we would not meet otherwise. But the real dating purpose, or the real driving force behind the whole dating game is that we don't want to live life alone, We want someone to come home to, have fun with, share memories with, build legacy with, and I could just go on and on. But I think all these reasons are built on lack. A lack of someone to share things with, a lack of partner to build with, a lack of love in our lives. So basically we want to fill an empty space in our daily lives, or that void in us or in our heart. But I think if your driving force is based on lack, you want to enter into a relationship for the wrong reason. If filling that void is your motivation, then you want a relationship to get something out of it, right? It doesn't make you a bad person, of course. It's such a normal human craving, and I always felt the same way about it too, up until now. And I tell you what happened. Early in my dating career, let's say, I had a friend telling me that I wasn't ready for a relationship, and I honestly didn't understand what he meant or why he thought that I wasn't ready. And I was a bit confused about it. But I think now I can completely agree with him. I was looking for someone to fill that emptiness that my divorce left in me. Even though I wanted to divorce and I was really sure about my decision, and luckily I still have the friendship of my ex-husband, but the position of that significant other became vacant overnight. And that brought other emptiness or empty feelings with it, from having to sleep alone to basically having to fix or do everything by myself, which later brought me confidence, I have to give you that. But my loneliness was kind of painful at times, and it was hard to get used to sleeping alone again. I think I couldn't sleep for like 6 months straight after moving out, and even after that my sleep has never completely returned to how it was before, how it used to be. But I actually did learn to appreciate sleeping alone so much, that I actually hated when someone wanted to stay over. But yeah, like back to my initial line of thought. So yes, I was clearly looking for someone to fill a void in every sense of it. And what does it do to you? It can make you desperate, and after a while. And you know what they say, beggars can't be choosers. Well, luckily I was always pickier than desperate, so I never settled for anything less than what I wanted in a partner. But my desperation turned into frustration at times, and I was like, I can't believe, that I don't have anyone to share my prime years with. Later on, my driving force changed, completely changed, because my desperateness, or this desperate feeling inside me, left me, and my loneliness didn't cause me pain anymore. In fact, I started to appreciate the freedom being single brought me, and the lots of quality time that I got to spend with myself, which we introverts really, really enjoy. And for a while, I didn't even want a relationship, I felt that my life was just too busy for it anyway, and it was kind of complete, and caring just for myself was enough and satisfying, and I couldn't really see when and how I could invest time into building something with someone right now. My busy schedule haven't actually changed since, but and I still don't know, how I would be or when I would be able to spend time with someone if I was dating. But something did shift in me, that driving force. I was no longer looking to fill that void or emptiness or vacancy, because I didn't feel empty or I didn't feel a vacancy. I wasn't looking for someone to bring me love or to make me feel wanted anymore. I tell you what feeling started to emerge in me. I felt that I was at peace with everything the way it was. And I finally felt that I can completely take care of myself in every way. You know, find a solution in every tricky situation where I could have normally called my husband, or I just found ways to fix things where I, again, normally would have asked my husband to fix. I was able to completely take care of everything financially as well, and pay for everything, and still have enough to enjoy life and be able to afford whatever I had to afford. I was relying myself completely, finally, maybe even for the first time in my life. And it didn't scare me anymore, you know. It actually helped me to become a more confident person. And I think along with that growing confidence in myself, grew more love in me for me too. And one day I found that my longing for a partner in me is kind of back, but this time it's deeply driven by a desire to want to give, to want to love. And it is so strong at times that I think to myself that, you know, if I'm not going to meet the person who I think I should, I'm just gonna buy a cat or a dog or whatever pet, because I need to be able to give my love to something or someone. I need that something to, you know, to direct my overflowing love at. And you know, pets are easier because they don't trigger us, you know, the way relationships trigger us at times. They do not let those childhood traumas resurface in us, you know, and I just think it's safer and it's a more stable environment, you know, to show love and affection and care. But of course, it's not like a real relationship with another human. And I haven't given up on the idea of falling in love and getting married again one day. I'm just saying that I was surprised to experience this new desire in me, the desire to love instead of the desire or the need to feel loved by someone. And I wanted to just give and give this time instead of taking. It kind of surprised me. And I thought, you know, like, what a pure motive. Well, it doesn't mean I became enlightened and now I'm this superhuman who is pure and wise and driven by love only, and nothing can upset or trigger me. I'm far from that. All I'm saying is that I experienced this new feeling of desire in me, and it made me think that, hang on a second, maybe this is the sign of being like truly relationship ready. You know, when your driving force is not to get things out of it, but instead wanting to put things into it, to give and love and care for. And how beautiful it would be if we could all experience that and enter into a relationship feeling like this without expecting anything in return, because we had this endless flow of unconditional love in us that we just wanted to pour on others. Well, I don't think I would ever get to that stage completely, because I know myself, and I know that if I felt that my love was non-reciprocated, I would just fucking leave. But this utopistic vision, you know, just seemed so wholesome, just so beautiful. I listened to Neale Donald Walsh, Conversations with God audiobook. You should listen to it too, or read it. I highly, highly recommend it for everyone. And Neale says in the book, or God says, that relationships fail because they were entered into for the wrong reason. Most people enter to see what they can get out of them instead of looking at what they can put into them. And it also says that our partner is not supposed to complete us, but to be the person we share our completeness with. And this just resonated with me so much, you know? But what do you think? Like, share with me in the comment section below. I would love to know your thoughts. I also remember from this book when God says that the most loving person is the one that is self-centered. You can only truly love another if you love yourself first, you know, like, we probably all agree on this. And the book continues saying that if you cannot love yourself, you cannot love another. Many people make the mistake of seeking love of self through the love of another. They don't realize it. It's not like conscious choice, but they think that if I can just love another, they will love me back, and then I can feel lovable and therefore love myself. And when we feel that there's nobody to love us, we just do not love ourselves either, and we get lovesick. So how about loving ourselves so confidently and securely that we don't need that other, because we need them to love us and show us that we are lovable, but instead we want to be around that particular person to show them, give them our love, and just expect nothing in return. I remember a chapter from this book where it says, your life is not about you, but about everyone whose life you touch and the way you touch them. And I also remember the part where it says something like, when you can become the source of love in the life of others, that love will flow through you, and whatever flows through you will also stick to you. So whatever you want for yourself, decide or try to become the source of that in the life of others, because when you are giving that thing, it could be money as well, it could be financial abundance or love. If you want to be the source of that in the life of others, it will have to flow through you, and whatever flows through you will also stick to you. So in the process of giving, you are not only giving to the other, but you are also filling up your own empty tanks. Now, what do you think about that? Have you ever experienced it? I think we all feel that in its purest form when we deal with babies or animals. And like their innocence, their cute look, their big eyes, and it's just, there's nothing triggering about them. We don't have like a shared past with them, and all these just contribute to us having this warm and fuzzy feeling inside us around babies and pets, and we just automatically care for them without expecting anything in return. And in the process of doing that, I think it also fills our heart with love and joy. You can feel like that, with babies and pets around, even if it's non-reciprocal. A baby or a kitten doesn't necessarily have to show you that they love you back, like you would still be able to walk away feeling a bit happier or filled with more love. Or at least that's what I think. But again, I would love to know your thoughts on what you think the purpose of relationship are or should be, and how do you know that you are ready for one, and how do you want to enter into one? Just, comment section again. My final thoughts on this is something that I have recently experienced when I try to change my focus from what I can get to what I can give. And I remember I was talking to this guy and on a regular basis, and I felt that whenever he didn't text me back right away or within a certain time frame, that, I would get frustrated. And I was just trying to analyze this whole thing and what was happening in me. I came to the conclusion that when something feels non-reciprocal and it gets me upset, it's an ego-driven reaction, It's a projection of my inner fear onto the situation. The fear of being rejected, unwanted, abandoned, which all goes back to childhood trauma. Of course, but it's definitely connected to the what I can get out of this thought process. Like I'm giving something to you with the expectation of you giving me something in return, and that's supposed to make me feel loved. But if you are not doing as I expected, then it will just leave me hanging in this insecure place or feeling of I'm not worthy, I'm not being appreciated, valued, or loved, or you're not interested in me. So basically, if my love or my interest is non-reciprocal, it's just going to trigger me in all sorts of ways, and it's just gonna mess with my feelings. You understand where I'm going with this, right? It's the result of an unhealthy inner dialogue or train of thoughts powered by expectations, childhood trauma, fears of my expectations not being met. Therefore, I think I'm unlovable and therefore I'm hurt. But basically, in reality, I'm actually hurting myself. How about going in there with zero expectations, not wanting anything in return, but simply being driven by my pure desire of wanting to give only? And I know it sounds like really woke and enlightened, which I'm not, but I actually tested out, just to see if it would feel differently, and it sure did. When I changed my thoughts and said to myself that he's probably not texting you back right now because he's busy, you know, at work, or he's on a call, or he's in the gym, or whatever, but he's thinking of you. And I pushed my focus on all the good things that I think of him, or I remembered of him, and how I feel for him, you know, when we talk, or like, poor thing, he must be working so hard, and how much I just want to show him that I love and care, you know. And so when I focused my thoughts on this, it just gave me a completely different feeling. All of a sudden, I wasn't frustrated anymore, and I was at peace with the delay or no response. I still felt love towards him, and shouldn't this mental and emotional state be the goal, you know? And not just that, but I think it could make relationships work better too, if it could lead from our heart instead of our mind. This is something I have to learn as well. And, you know, we have to practice the switch between the two. And when you feel that you are good at it, maybe you are 1 or even 2 steps closer to being ready for and being good at relationships. Okay, this was today's video. I gotta go. I actually have to run and pack my luggage because I'm flying to Amsterdam in a couple of hours to spend my weekend with hundreds of others listening to Esther and Abraham Hicks. And I'm so excited. I've been waiting for this for 2 years now, guys, but it kept being postponed because of COVID. I might make a video on that too, like a travel video. But anyway, like the video if you liked it, subscribe, click the bell side, you know what to do anyway, so take care. Bye-bye.